Hi, everyone. My name is Kendra Mosley. Welcome to Children in the Field campaign's live Thursday event. We are here with several special guests that I will introduce in a moment. I want to give everyone a chance to connect and start turn your volumes up, put in your headphones. And also, if you are joining us, please let us know where you're from and if it's relevant who you work for. This is our 10th Facebook Live that's related, that we've been doing since COVID-19 really started to hit the US. So we've been trying to focus our topics on subjects that are related to the coronavirus. Today we are highlighting the camp program at Adams State University, and we're talking about how education for a lot of farm worker kids and young adults has been interrupted. So I want to mention first, before we get started, that we have a contest going on right now for children of migrant and seasonal farm workers. It's on our website. There we go. Please go to that website and find our application for 2020. All the guidelines are there in Spanish and in English. So please, if you are connected with any children of migrant seasonal farm workers who are between the ages of 10 and 18 years old, that's not quite right. Hang on. There you go. Please let them know that this contest is a really exciting opportunity. There are scholarships available and also a tablet for the top winner. We're going to enter all top winners into the raffle to win a tablet. So please check that out. Thank you to everyone who's been joining our Facebook Lives every week. We are starting a little bit later today because we have actual children of farm workers here, and we just want to accommodate schedules because that's something that is a reality for a lot of farm worker families, work schedules, obviously. So here we are. I want to introduce Jasmine and Mariela and Zaida. So welcome to the three of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Jasmine, am I saying your last name right? Campaneschi?
Campaneschi.
Campaneschi. She has been working with the College Assistance Migrant Program at Adams State University since 2017. She has served as a director since 2018. And she says that being a part of camp is a dream come true, and I love what I do every day. And we also have Zaida Ortiz. She's in the bottom left corner. Actually, let me put your name up here. There's Jasmine. There's Zaida. There's Mariela. And there's me. So Zaida is currently studying cellular and molecular biology at Adams State University. She is pursuing that degree because she wants to go to medical school to become a pediatrician or a surgeon. And then Mariela Hernandez is pursuing a bachelor's in business administration with an emphasis in finance, also at Adams State. She's pursuing that degree because she wants to increase her knowledge on how the money works in our world. So shall we get started? Jasmine, I want to ask you just to start out, can you give our viewers a quick snapshot of the San Luis Valley in Colorado and the farm worker community there?
Certainly. And I think Mariela would be great to also chime in on this as, an actual farm worker in San Luis Valley in Colorado. But we are located down in southern Colorado, almost to the New Mexico border, in south central Colorado down there. And it's a very, very rural area with a lot of agriculture, from lettuce, potatoes, mushrooms, quinoa, mostly in the crops, not as much meat, but we do have plenty of sheep and beef as well. We're big for hemp now that has been passed with the Farm Bill last year. So that is really starting to change the valley a little bit and the way that's starting to look. And we're even seeing fields that have transitioned from other crops to hemp now as well. And we see a lot of migrant workers, both domestic workers as well as H-2A, so our different international workers coming in. That's a growing population in our area. But something that we find unique about our area is a lot of folks that do come in, they come and then they stay and they establish their families in our areas. So we have a lot of our agricultural families that have immigrated recently, but then more and more of their family members come in. So we have a really large Guatemalan community that have worked mostly at the mushroom farm. And so we have a lot of Cajoval speakers in our area. And then we also have a lot of families that have been in the valley for a long time, for decades, for generations, who a lot of them are the farm owners. And then, so there's some interesting relationships that happen there. But Mariela, I would love if you share a little bit your perspective.
I can say that farm workers play an essential occupation in the U.S. because without agriculture, we wouldn't be able to feed our family or ourselves. So I think that we play an important role.
For sure. Thank you, Jasmine and Mariela. I'm really excited to have a camp program on because, as you know, Children in the Fields, we are often, sharing the artwork that the kids send us, and college always plays a very prominent role in the dreams and aspirations of all the kids who take part in the contest. So you're there, you're living it, you're living the dream. So I just want to hear about ASU, Adams State University's camp program in particular. Can you tell us about that? Go ahead, Jasmine.
All right. My little one may, intermittently join us.
That is fine.
So the College Assistance Migrant Program at Adams State, camp in general has been around since 1972. And at that time, Adams State was one of the original 4 programs. And we had the grant for 8 years. And then I'm not exactly sure what happened, but we no longer continued to have the grant starting in 1980. In 2011, our institution really wanted to work and bring it back. And so it took 3 attempts. And then finally in 2014, we were awarded. And yes, it's awesome. So we've been operating again. And then we just had applied last year. And so we just got funded again for another 5 years. So really excited to be able to continue our program here at Adams State and to serve our very unique rural area of Colorado. The other camp programs that we have in the state are located up in Fort Lupton and Metro State and Pueblo. And so we need to be able to serve everybody that lives on the other side of the Front Range.
Yeah. How many students are in your program in a typical year?
So we're funded to serve 30 students. And so that is our goal, is to make sure that we are serving the number that we're funded to serve and try to always ensure that we're doing that.
Wonderful. Do DACA students qualify, or how is the, we lost Jasmine.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, you're there.
I don't know what happened.
I'm going to refresh my page. There you are. 2, 1. Okay. Oh, why are we doing that? Now I kicked off Mariela. Mariela, can you hear me still?
Oh, and there goes Zaida.
It must be the internet. Such are the trials and tribulations of rural internet connectivity. Mariela, welcome back. I don't know what happened there. And here comes Zaida again. Here, yay. Okay, you switched places. So let me just make sure your names are visible so people know who you are, since you're not in the same spots. There we go. Okay, so I was just about to ask, and if you, Zaida or Mariela, can speak to this. How about DACA students? Does it matter? Immigration status? I assume it doesn't really matter.
Oh, it actually
does?
very much does.
Okay.
We are a federally funded program through the Office of Migrant Education and the Department of Education. And because our students are attending institutions of higher education, they are required to be eligible for the FAFSA, so the free application for federal student aid, which means that they have to be U.S. citizens or permanent legal residents.
So DACA does not fall into that? Oh, man.
So we're unable to serve DACA or undocumented students.
That's unfortunate.
It is. It's definitely a challenge that we face. And
Yeah.
it's something that is really disappointing for us, but it's part of how the system.
Yeah. Well, we understand because part of our network, and in fact, the guiding unifying force for the Association of Farmworker Opportunity Programs is the National Farmworker Jobs Program, and that too we can only serve U.S. citizens or legal. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but citizenship does matter. And oh, we lost someone. We lost Mariela. Well, we'll keep going. So that is interesting.
Yeah, and the National Farm Job Workers Program is actually a way in which students are able to be eligible for camp as well.
Okay, great. So we work hand in hand. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Diana. This is fun. It's like, a little bit of popcorn. Yeah. Okay, well, hopefully they can join back in. Let me refresh my page again. About the campus shutdown, at what point did ASU decide to close the school? And what happened then with the school year? How did the rest of the school year play out?
So just before spring break, which would have been like March 13th or something, we sorry, they're both telling me that they just got kicked out and they're trying to get back.
Hi, Zaida. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
Hopefully Mariela can also join. You were saying, Desmond?
Yeah, so just before spring break, the campus had made a decision that we were going to go to an online format for just the 2 weeks following spring break. As we know, with COVID-19, coronavirus, everything is changing day by day. And so that quickly changed to us deciding to be closed for the remainder of the semester in terms of our on-campus learning, and to continue that through July 1st. So all of our courses are offered in a remote learning environment right now, including our summer classes.
Okay.
Summer is having the opportunity to plan a little bit more for it. When we transitioned at spring break, when especially students were expecting just to go home for spring break and come back shortly thereafter, and Zaida can only speak to that, then it was definitely just a scramble, as it has been for all educators and students, and trying to figure out how to best serve all of our students and educate them, but also meet all of the many needs that come along with it. And it's really brought a lot of inequities to light, where not everybody has access to internet. Not everybody has a quiet space to do their work. Not everybody has good technology or parents that are at home to help them. A lot of our students have multiple younger siblings that they need to be assisting as well. A lot of our students, their parents have lost their jobs, and so then they're having to pick up the slack. In that sense, not really the slack, but they're having to help out because then there's a loss of income in the family. So it's been extremely challenging for students across the nation and for their parents as well. And just trying to figure out how to get through the school year. These two ladies, they worked so hard, and I'm so proud of them and for finishing out the rest of the semester really strongly. And I hope that they're very proud of them as well, because it was definitely not easy for them in being at home and trying to learn this. It wasn't easy for our professors either. A lot of them trained in this environment. None of us signed up to be in online remote learning.
Exactly.
Crisis. So it's been hard on our professors too.
Zaida or Mariela, can you talk about what that was like for you to go home for spring break and not to know what was going to happen, and what has happened since then for you? I think Zaida, your screen froze a little bit. Can you still hear me? Or Mariela, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, can you hear me?
I want to share a message that came in from Kaylee Amber Gomez. She's rooting for you guys. I don't know if you know who that is. I think you do. And Eliezer Gutierrez, he's a friend of ours. He says, "Keep strong, campers. You're the future of your families, and you are Latino leaders." So, I think the connection's a little bit delayed. Mariela, can you hear me? Uh-oh.
But we can't hear her.
I can't hear you. Why don't you two call into the conference line? I love that I can see you. I would also love to hear you and your wonderful voices. So go ahead, and if you need to, you can turn, because I know, I think, Mariela, you're using your phone to also join the live broadcast. So if you want to just call in, turn off the broadcast and just call into the conference line. And also, Zaida, can you hear me? I don't think she can.
Okay, I will send them a message.
Okay, because that way we can at least hear what they have to say. I think the audio is not coming in very well. Hold on. Stay with us, listeners. We're experiencing some technical difficulties.
We are in very rural Colorado.
Yes. Yes.
Where there is literally only one cable that goes through our entire valley.
Wow. Mariela, hello.
Help out with the internet.
Okay. Let's see.
Mariela, the audio is not working very well. I don't know if you can hear me, hon. So I just sent you guys a message to go ahead and leave the video.
Please hold while I confirm your passcode.
Sorry, that was me.
For joining Global Meet. Please enter your billing code number. Please wait for the tone. Then say your name and press
Kendra.
When you hear the tone, you will be the first person to join the meeting. The line will be silent until another person joins.
Okay. So I'm in again. I just refreshed it just so it doesn't kick me out after an hour like it did the last time. While we wait for Mariela and Zaida to call in, I just have a couple more questions about the ASU camp program for Jasmine. Can you tell us what camp's biggest accomplishment has been? Like percentage of students graduated, stuff like that?
Definitely. Okay, there we go. I think they both got my messages there. So camp as a whole, we have really high standards for our students, very high goals, or GAPRAs as we call them, to meet. And as a full camp program, we always exceed those goals, which is pretty fantastic. So when we look at our number of students that need to complete their first year successfully, we're always trying to meet at least 86% of our students, and we consistently do that. And then we look at our second goal of students who need to continue into the year.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear? Is this Mariela?
This is Zaida.
Zaida, hi. And so we have,
Hi.
I'm glad I can hear you now. That's really important in broadcasting your voice, that your voice actually comes through. Is that Mariela?
Yeah.
Awesome, you're both on. Awesome. Okay, Jasmine, can you hear them?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
All right.
Yay. The listeners can also hear everybody.
Perfect.
Taking my headphones off. All right. So as you were saying, we'll just finish out what you were saying.
So then our computers, we actually just increased that that goal because we were always exceeding it by so much. So we just went from 85% to now 92% of our students need to continue on to their second year. So that is a big goal for us to be meeting, especially this year when we know that a lot of our students were not able to complete their semester successfully with everything that's going on during this time. So we'll have a lot of students returning as persisters, which means we continue to serve them the subsequent year. And so with that, we provide financial, academic, and social emotional services to our students. At Adams State, we provide a pretty hefty financial aid plan because we only serve 30 students and there's not a whole lot of other financial resources. And so that's the focus where we provide quite a bit there. But then our academic services where we're having tutoring and peer mentors, and weekly there's all of this engagement. Our students are always in the office working with us. We work really closely with professors because we are a really small campus. And then our social emotional support as well is really key. Making sure that students have opportunities to go to student leadership conferences, to do things that maybe they wouldn't typically have access to. So we all went skiing and snowboarding at Wolf Creek at the local ski area. So even though our students live there, it doesn't mean that a lot of them have never even been to the ski area. Going to Denver to theater events, or just exploring, having equity in the outdoors, being able to go to the sand dunes and go sandboarding, and just ensuring that we are, that our students have those opportunities available to them. And, you know, we are having 7 students graduate with their bachelor's degree right now. Well, technically 2 weeks ago. We have a virtual graduation here in a couple weeks. So we're pretty excited for that. And each year we average around 7 to 10 graduates at Adams State from our campus programs. And that exceeds our the data for Adams State. So we actually outperform the rest of the population at Adams State, which is something we're really proud of.
That sounds so familiar because with the National Farmworker Jobs Program, we also are very proud of the rate of job retention, and like all of our metrics are off the charts compared to other job training programs. So
exactly,
yeah.
Same as our workers and
our hard workers.
Yeah. Yes.
So Mariela and Zaida, I want to make sure I get to my questions for you before I'm just so worried that you're going to drop off or that something will happen to the connection. So Zaida, can you tell me about the job that you had lined up on campus? I'm sorry, it's not one of the questions I had written out, but I know you mentioned that you were hoping to work at Adams State this summer, but that didn't work out because of the coronavirus. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yes, I was gonna work for the summer, like a building monitor. Mm-hmm. But because of all this going on, because I'm here home, I can go back, you know, because of the virus. So I was thinking about working in the summer, but because of that, I couldn't work, so I had to find another job here. So yeah.
So what is it that you're doing right now? Jasmine said you started a new job last week.
Oh yes. Right now I'm processing. I'm working at a farm.
What is it that it?
Yeah.
For what? You said for little pigs, right?
Yes, for little pigs. And which is processing.
It's what?
Processing.
Processing. Got it. Yeah. So you are part of the workforce that is right now being required to go to work, basically.
Yeah.
So I thank you for your service, and I hope that you are being provided the necessary equipment that you need to stay safe on the job. Do you have like things like masks, and are they implementing like the necessary social distancing measures?
Yes, we are, but because of all the virus going on, we don't have enough masks.
Okay.
So we have to provide our own.
Okay. Are you able to get your own, or do you just go without?
So I have my own.
Okay.
Also, can provide us with masks too.
Camp gave you masks?
That's really helpful.
Yay,
Yeah.
Camp. You're awesome. We just had a comment from Wendy Fort. She said, "I love the supportive culture that camp provides to migrant students." And you just gave us an example of that. Mariela, how about you? What happened when everything kind of hit the fan and kids were sent home? Are you still in Alamosa, or what happened to your summer plans?
I was planning to work on the field, but Camp ASU hired me as administrative assistant, so
Yay.
I'm working for them now. So it is great for me because I won't be exposed for the coronavirus to hit me or my family while I'm at work on the field.
That's wonderful. So in case you all didn't catch that, Mariela was going to work in the potatoes, but was hired on as an administrative assistant for the camp program at ASU. So congratulations, Mariela. So kind of like an opposite story there. And can you tell us what your family does, Mariela? You said, I think your dad works in the potatoes, you said?
Yeah, my dad works in the potatoes, and my mom is not working anymore, but she plans to start working in August, I think, in the potatoes as well. So, yeah. So
we will send out positive vibes for your family to stay safe. We had a question from, and I'm going to go ahead and ask it now instead of saving it for the end, about the other workers at the pig processing plant, Zaida. Are there any kids that work there under the age of 18, or are they all over 18?
No, actually, there's kids under the age of 18. I have a friend that works there. She's a single mother, but she's a friend of my mom, and she's a single mother. She has a 2-year-old girl, and his son, he's 16, and they're both working at the farm there because they both need money because she's a single mother, so she needs the extra help from his kid. So they both are working there right now.
So you said they're 20 and 16?
No, she is. I don't know how she is. I think she's 40 years old, and he is 16.
Okay. Oh, I got it. Okay, so 16 years old. And a follow-up question from that same, from Reed Mackey. He's the coordinator for the Child Labor Coalition. So he's very interested to know, as we all are, about the all the workers at these processing plants, so the potatoes and the pigs, and yourselves, obviously. Do you have any friends or family that have been tested positive for the virus?
No, not here.
Was that Zaida? You said no?
Yes.
And then Mariela, how about you?
No.
Okay. Jasmine, can you tell us a little bit about what's happening in the Valley right now?
Yes. So in the Valley, we haven't been hugely impacted up until recently. And now our mushroom farm and a few of our potato warehouses have been hit pretty hard with outbreaks. This week, I've had 2 of my students tell me that they both tested positive, as well as their family members. And so they're now quarantining. And one of our, somebody that works with our migrant education program, she just lost her father a couple days ago, who is also the uncle of one of our students who's positive as well. And the mushroom farm, same thing, where we've had students where we have one student, his mom is hospitalized, and dad and the 7 children are all at home quarantined. And this is becoming more and more common with our students and their family members.
So you were telling me before, Jasmine, about the state of Colorado, how it's starting to open back up right when this is starting to hit the agricultural community. Can you say some more about that?
Yes, so in the Valley, because we're so rural, everything tends to hit us much later. And so we haven't really seen much from it all. But the next week, we're slated to, as a state, move to a next stage of opening up more. And our counties in our area have actually gotten variances approved to open early. And so 2 of our counties have opened up this week to allow for RV parks, restaurants, playgrounds, and other services to, again, on some strict guidelines, but still be able to open up. And while the outbreaks have been in neighboring counties, they're even more rural. And so, of course, they're going to come into Alamosa County to go to Walmart, to visit the grocery stores. So I definitely anticipate that we are going to see the outbreaks increase and the number of cases increase in our area, especially as our migrant farm workers come in, who need to come in to ensure that our crops don't just go there unserviced, and that they don't end up dying, all the crops die in the fields, and those people are able to provide assistance to their families as well and make sure that they're feeding their own families. But also as all the tourists come in, we do rely on a lot of tourism. And so I think that's going to look quite different here in the next few weeks as well as things open up.
Yeah, we think that's not, you're not alone. I think that's happening to a lot of rural communities across the U.S. And it's interesting for me to hear that the counties are actually asking to open earlier, because in my experience, in the state of Maryland, where I'm living, the counties are asking to open later because ours have been harder hit. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it just sounds like the farm workers don't have a direct line to the people who are making the decisions at the top. And so anyway, I'm sad that that's happening for you all.
So Mariela said she can't hear us very well anymore.
Mariela, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'll keep the phone closer to my mouth so you can hear me better. So we were talking about how the Valley is experiencing an increase in cases of the coronavirus and testing positive in the agricultural community. You said center is hardest hit right now. That's where the potato farms are. Is that where the mushrooms also?
The mushroom farm is in Alamosa.
Okay.
Or outside of Alamosa, but our potato warehouses and lettuce and spinach and a lot of our other crops are in the center area.
Okay. So, Mariela and Zaida, how are you feeling about the coronavirus? Like, are you and your families bracing for it? Are you just rolling with it? Like, how are you feeling about the things right now? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. So, me and my family are feeling safe right now, but we don't know if the virus is going to hit us or something. So we are a little bit worried about it. So yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Zaida?
For us, we also worry about it. At the moment, we are safe, but we are worried about not just only the virus hitting us, but also if we're gonna money waste. At the moment, me and my dad are the only ones that we're working. My mom works, but not all the time. It's not full time.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not working at the moment. And then we have I have my 5 cousins living with me and my siblings and my grandparents. So yeah, we worry about them. We're trying to be all safe, but at the same time try to provide for our family.
Yes. It's such a big responsibility to feel like you have to support your entire family like that. So my heart goes out to you, Zaida. I'm not sure if I gave you both an opportunity to talk about you and your families, like where you're from. Zaida, you just told me a little bit about you and your dad and your cousins and your grandparents. Mariela, how about you? You mentioned your dad and your mom, and I think you said that you were born in Mexico. Is that right?
Yeah, I was born in Chihuahua, Mexico, and then when I was going to start high school, I came to the United States, and then I stayed for around 3 years, I think, and then I went back to Mexico because I wasn't able to stay legally here at the United States. Mm-hmm. So I went back to Mexico, and then I lost my senior year, and then after 1 year, I got my permanent residency, and then I came back, and I had to finish my senior year as well. So yeah, I lost like 2 years of high school because of my situation.
Well, congratulations for hanging in there and finishing your degree. And now you're on your way to finishing your college degree. That's amazing, especially since, did you just learn English when you came as a high school student?
Yeah.
And now you're completing a degree in, what was it? Finance? Business administration. Finance. That's amazing.
And she's going to finish a year early.
Wow. That's amazing. You inspire me. So you're a rising senior. You're going to be a senior next year?
Yeah, I'm going to be a senior. I only have like 3 years in college, but 2 years, and I'm going to start my 3rd year. So I've been hustling.
Yes, you have been. That's amazing. Congratulations. And someone just mentioned, she said, your perseverance is paying off. Congratulations. So we're rooting for you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Zaida, you, I think you're just finishing your 1st year. Is that right? As a college student?
Yeah. Yeah.
What were your impressions coming into college? Was it what you expected? Was it easier than you thought or harder?
I think it's really hard, but just like Mariela, I moved here when I was 15 years old. I was a freshman in high school, and then I also learned English in high school. So
wow.
It was really, really hard for me. Then I took a year off. I didn't want to go to the college right away because I was really scared of like failing and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then I also, a year before, I applied to Adams State and the camp program, and I got accepted, but I hesitated and I didn't go because I was scared. Mm-hmm. But then this year I was like, I have to do it. So I applied again and I got accepted again, and here I am.
Here you are. Well, you're doing great, and I'm really proud of you, and I think our listeners are as well.
I think an amazing part with Zaida as well is she participated in the Migrant Education Program and in the Summer Migrant Youth Leadership Institute. And some of her mentors in that program are also camp students who just graduated this year. And they've been peer mentors for camp. And they were peer mentors for her in Smiley. And so they just continue to keep that communication with her and continue to encourage her. Oh, there's Alejandro right there. Si se puede. He's one of our mentors. And
he was the one who reached out to me and said that I should apply again. So, yeah, thank you, Alejandro, for that.
And so they've just been, our students really, really support one another and help each other continue and not give up. That's really somos familia in our group, and it's really important for us to have that family sense. And I think that's been one of the greatest challenges right now is we're not all able to be together and all hug each other and everything that we would normally do. And
yes, true community, it sounds like. So Zaida and Mariela, now that you've seen firsthand what college is like, what do you dream for yourself and for your families on the other end of it, or even through it? Like, what do you hope to accomplish?
Can you repeat the question?
What do you hope? What are your dreams for yourself and your family? What do you hope to accomplish once you get your college degrees?
One of my dreams is since I was little is buying my parents a house, because since I was little we didn't have like enough money and our own house. So that's one of my biggest dreams. To be able to buy my parents a house and to become a doctor. Yes.
So this is Zaida speaking, right? You're the one that's studying medicine.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hope to practice medicine in Colorado? Are you going to stay in Colorado, or do you want to go somewhere else?
I want to go somewhere else.
Do you have dreams of traveling once we're allowed to travel again?
Yes.
That's wonderful. Where would you like to go?
I would like to go, like, to the first place, I don't know why, but Spain.
Spain? Uh-huh.
And Peru as well.
Uh-huh. Peru? Very good.
Like, provide help for them, how to struggle with stuff like medical, like, stuff.
Mm-hmm. So like Doctors Without Borders kind of thing?
Yeah.
That's awesome. If I could go back and do it again, that's probably what I would do too. Mariela, how about you? What are your dreams?
My dreams for me and my family are to have a better future, where I can contribute to my community, and also to be able to help my parents financially. So yeah.
And what do you hope to do with your knowledge about finance? Do you want to make a lot of money?
Yeah, I want to make a lot of money and have my own business to be able to contribute to my community. Like, I would like to donate to important organizations in one way or another. Yeah.
That's amazing. You want to be a philanthropist. That sounds great. And all of these things that you're saying resonate very much with, I think, our followers and our listeners here, because children of farm workers dream big dreams. And I'm always inspired by the work ethic of children of farm workers, because you're used to having to work hard. So it's not you're not a stranger to hard work. So you're not daunted by it. And even though things might seem challenging at first, you are in the habit of, staring down those challenges and working through them. So, sorry, pardon the noise. I also have children in my house, so there's a little bit of background noise right now. So everyone here is rooting for you. They're saying it's never too late to live your dreams. Keep up the good work. I'm not sure if I've forgotten any questions. Let me look at my list. I do have another question for you. How do you think that you will inspire other farm worker children to go to college and to overcome their challenges?
Sometimes being like our parents being farm workers, and there's kids that we create a mindset that sometimes we don't deserve like better things, and we stay with like, if my dad worked as a farm worker, I'm gonna be the same way. Sometimes we don't, like, I speak for myself. Sometimes I think that I don't deserve like good things because my parents were like farm workers. But I don't know how to explain it, but it's sometimes like we create our own mindset that we can do great things.
Well, you can, and you are. You're accomplishing great things right now.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
And I'm not sure, was that Zaida or was that Mariela?
No, that was Miss Zaida.
Okay, and Mariela, can you also say how you hope to inspire other kids to go and do the same that you're doing?
I can say that I can inspire them by, I don't know, by being a mentor maybe and sharing my story to be able to convince them to reach their goals. I know that going to college is so scary, but it is also so important because we can increase our knowledge to be able to contribute to our community on a better way. So yeah, that's what I think about it.
Thank you. I agree. I think if they set their minds to it, Farmworker kids can do whatever they want to do. And it is daunting at first.
Yes,
I think it is daunting for anyone who goes to college, especially since, you know, you leave your home and your family and everything is new and different. And I don't know if you speak Spanish at home, but if you go to college, then I think it's all English all of a sudden. I don't know if is that your experience?
Yeah, I only speak Spanish here at home, but in college it was completely different. So yeah.
Yeah. So there are additional challenges that you have to overcome that just the typical college student might not. But it just makes you stronger in the end because, I mean, how many other people come out of college bilingual? Like not many. And I, for one, wish that I were bilingual, Spanish and English, because it would help me right now. I speak, hablo un poco español, pero no mucho. So challenges that you have experienced, can you talk about some of that? I just mentioned one, but what other challenges have you experienced and overcome in your journey so far? Don't everyone go at once. Can you hear me? Did you hear the question?
I didn't hear the question.
What other challenges have you overcome in your journey so far through college and high school?
For me, it's like as well. I only speak Spanish in my house. So like in high school, I faced I was afraid of my accent and speaking English in public. So now in college, I overcome that fear of speaking in public and not be ashamed of our accent and stuff like that.
Don't be ashamed. No, your accent's beautiful. Everyone has an accent. Everybody has a. I have an Ohio accent. People tell me.
You might share your experience with Dr. Chapter.
What's that, Jasmine?
Failure too.
Fear of failure. Yes. I don't think you're the only one. I think there's a lot of that. I have a phrase I've heard a lot, and that has helped me a lot, is to fake it until you make it. That a lot of people that look like they're very successful are really, most of the time, feel like they're pretending. So yeah, fake it till you make it, or fake it while you make it too. A couple comments of encouragement. I don't know if you see them, Jasmine, but I think this is from my coworker Vashti. She says, Zaida and Mariela, you both deserve the world and don't be afraid to go claim it. And Julie Edinburgh says, I hope you will read Barefoot Heart. Have you heard of the book Barefoot Heart by Elva Triveni?
No.
It's a novel. No, it's a memoir, I think, of a child of farm workers, and it's a really inspiring story. So look it up, Barefoot Heart. You would probably connect with her on a lot of levels.
I love about our camp office is it's a safe space for them to speak their languages that they speak at home. And so, you know, we always have plenty of Spanish and Caval in our office, and they're teaching us. And I think, Zaida, you have a really great story and experience with Dr. Schaffner and your fear of public speaking and how she helped you overcome that. I don't know if you want to share that.
Go for it, Zaida.
Yes. For this class, I had to present kind of like a biography of myself. So I was really afraid to do public speaking in class, and she come up to me and she was like, "If you want, you don't have to do it in English. You can do it in Spanish." And then that day, my parents weren't gonna come and pick me up because we were going on vacations for the Christmas break.
Uh-huh.
And then she was like, "You can have your parents be there in the presentation since you're gonna do it in Spanish." And then I was like, "Thank you so much for that." And then I invited Jasmine as well. And then in the middle of my presentation, I was afraid. And then I ended up speaking both languages, English and Spanish. I don't know how, but I did it.
Did you not realize that you were speaking in both languages? Did it happen a little bit like that?
No.
No.
That happened, yes.
I want to give you go ahead.
I was doing it in English, and then I was translating in Spanish for my parents.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't know.
So you did both. You went above and beyond.
Yeah. Both.
That's great. I want to give you an opportunity to say in Spanish what you said to inspire others to also follow in your footsteps and to dream big and to, don't be daunted by the first impression of college when you first get there. Do you want to share some words of encouragement to other farmworker children? In Spanish. In Spanish.
Do you want to do Spanish?
Yes, in Spanish.
Muchas veces las cosas no salen como pensamos. Nos enfrentamos a muchas barreras, pero lo que nos hace es el poder afrontar eso y salir con la frente en alto. No todo sale como lo esperamos, pero si trabajamos duro y perseveramos, la recompensa es mayor a lo que hemos sufrido o lo que hemos pasado.
Amen. Thank you. How about Mariela? Would you like to say anything? Or wait, I'm sometimes getting you confused. That was Ida, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Mariela. Can you hear me, Mariela? Would you like to also share something?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I can say in Spanish, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, lo que me gustaría decirles es que corran tras sus sueños. Nada es fácil, todo tiene un precio en esta vida, pero siempre tenemos que tener perseverancia y, como dije antes, correr tras de nuestros sueños, aunque a veces las barreras son demasiado grandes, pero debemos de tener la frente en alto y saber lo que en realidad queremos para así cumplir nuestros sueños, contribuir a la sociedad y ayudar mejor a nuestras familias.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Puede.
Go ahead. Keep going. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that was the grita. Sí se puede.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was interrupting. Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, and I agree wholeheartedly. I understood most of that. So thank you. I want to make sure that I share any information that you all have to the listeners. Is there a website that I can put in to direct people to for the ASU camp program?
Yeah, so if you go to adams.edu, so it's actually adams.edu/admissions/camp. So it's a very long address. A double S on the admissions.
Oh, yep. Sorry.
If you go to the Adams State website, though, and you also in the search engine in the website type in camp, we're the first thing to pop up at the top of the results as well. And we do have Facebook and Instagram.
Are there any residency requirements to apply to Adams State for Colorado?
As far as, so no, you do not have to be residents of Colorado. And same thing, I think that Wendy had asked a question about, can out-of-state students be part of the CAMP program? So there's 52 CAMP programs across the U.S. We're one of many, but we have students from Alaska, Arizona, Nuevo Mexico, Tejas, who are all part of our CAMP program as well. And so it really just comes down to that U.S. citizenship or permanent legal residency. We are able to get some scholarships for our students who are out of state to help further defray the costs. And so there's certain things that are typically only open to San Luis Valley students for scholarships, but we're able to extend those to any student that's part of CAMP, regardless of which state they may come from.
That's great.
And a couple questions. We waive the admission, the application fee as well for our students.
That's awesome. Great. So that shouldn't be holding people back. Go ahead and apply. Do you know if that's common for all CAMP programs, or is that just for Adams State?
I know that, so anybody from any state can go to any CAMP program. All of our grants have an
application fee.
As far as waiving the application fee, I don't know if they all do it because all institutions of higher education also have different policies. But I know that's something that a lot of them do work really hard to do, and to make sure that we're opening up that access as much as possible and removing those barriers. So I would say, I can't say 100%, but I would say that generally, yes, that's something that we do as a norm.
And so you mentioned the other 51 or so CAMP programs. Is there any kind of coordination that happens between you all in terms of the coronavirus and right now, especially, or is that, I know you mentioned that you're working with the San Luis Valley Agricultural Coalition, I think. Is there something like that for CAMP programs, or no?
It's funny that you asked that, because just before this meeting or this event, all of us got together with the Office of Migrant Education, and we had a Skype call for us to all discuss what our immediate needs are, challenges that we've been facing, and what are some strategies that are working and how we can help support each other through that. What's really unique about CAMP grant program is that the sense of family extends throughout our entire program. And so we all work really hard together to always improve each other. There's no competition, even though we're technically competing. We're not holding anything back from each other. It's all about the students and everything that we can do to make sure that we're serving them to the best of our ability. And when we come together for our conferences, it's another part that makes me love what I do so much, because there's just this huge, great sense of community. We share our applications, our ideas, everything that we do with one another to serve our students.
That's wonderful. Inspiring also. And everyone else is feeling it too. They said, thank you so much. And yes, affirming you for what you do. So I think those are all the questions I had prepared. Do you have anything else that you would like to share before we call it a day?
Mariela or Zaida, did you guys want to share anything more?
And don't leave the call after we go live. I want to talk a little bit more, but we're going to end the live portion of this in just a minute. So anything else that you'd like to share with the viewers before we end the live portion? And that's okay if not. So yeah, it sounds like we've answered all the questions, and I really, really, really appreciate you all joining us today. I think this has been good for everyone. I think we hear about CAMP a lot, but I don't think we've seen enough of your faces and heard your voices to tell us, exactly why this program matters so much. My coworker just said, you ladies are such an inspiration to us all during this time. Thank you for sharing your stories and successes. So I second that wholeheartedly. And we hope to remain in touch because with our contest and with all of our other projects, we hope to be able to coordinate with you more on. So keep up the good work. Thank you again, Zaida and Mariela, for taking time out of your busy work schedules. I know just a little bit of what you're going through right now. So we are thinking of you, sending you positive thoughts and prayers. So blessings and good luck, and stay safe, stay healthy. We hope the best for you and your families. So
Thank you.
We will see you all again. We're going to take a little break next week. There will be no live broadcast next week, but for the holiday weekend, but we will have another live broadcast on June 4th. So to everyone who's listening, join us again June 4th, same place, same time. Actually, not same time, our usual time, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, for another interesting conversation about farm workers and the coronavirus. So thank you all, and we'll see you next time.